Hello, welcome. In this video, I'm going to share with you my first experience with OZORA, which is in the year of 2002. And that this might be preparing you for your first experience with OZORA. So first and foremost, it was sort of life transforming, and I got a lot of interesting insights, and I went to a lot of interesting lectures on psychedelics and society. I went to yoga lessons, I went to body arts lessons, I did a lot of interesting stuff, but I'm not going to go deep into my experiences, but I'll be more focusing on the immediate impressions and the practical information that could be useful for you if you're going to OZORA. So when we came there, our first impression was the area as enormous, with light shows and music and people all everywhere. And people are, they are interesting to watch themselves because they are like artworks. They have a lot of beautiful tribal tattoos, and their hair is special, and they wear these Mad Maxy sort of hats and glasses. And you have a lot of people walking around juggling, or they're strolling around. There are many beautiful people there. And there are many people that are there for partying. So there are many people just lying around in hammocks or on the grass, sleeping. In addition, you have a lot of people looking sort of crazy because they have this clubbing outfit. So they look like they're from another planet in some sort of way. And it's kind of funny to just do people watching there. So another thing is the vibe. The people are super friendly. Then I'm a sort of distracted person. So I tend to I tend to leave my passport and my wallet and everything. And whenever I kind of stand up and walk to the next place, and then what's happening is like people are running after me to kind of give me back the things that I lost. So I just left. So it's a very friendly atmosphere. What was also kind of funny, and that I was asking myself for a long time, why do I see this? These people walking around with umbrellas that look like jellyfish. And a friend of mine explained that it's because it's like when you have a group of tourists, these umbrellas make it possible for the group to find back to each other, and it's kind of a competition to have the coolest umbrella, the coolest jellyfish that is kind of moving above the crowd. So it kind of makes it becomes a part of the show. So to sum up the atmosphere, it's sort of a lot of tribal elements. So you're in a sort of a tribe, and it's kind of a Mad Max atmosphere. It feels like you're in the kind of market in Mad Max. You're kind of walking around, and it's also a psychedelic atmosphere. You'll have all these symbols related to psychedelics, like mushrooms all over the place, round forms, teepees, which is typically what the indigenous societies have, these tents. So the tribal and the indigenous elements are kind of a core philosophy in the idea of the festival. I think it's more how to be self-sustained, how to be more sustainable, how to create a more sustainable and kind society. And there are also a lot of elements with spirituality and yoga. And what you start to notice is that people or a lot of people just walk around topless or even naked, both in the daytime and at the dance floor. And at the dance floor, people just pick up their massage benches so you can have massages in the middle of the dance floor. Other people are just sleeping around in hammocks or they are dancing naked. So this is kind of the general atmosphere. But what you can do in addition to that, there's a lot of activities during the daytime. So you have, very interesting researchers and intellectuals holding lectures on psychedelics and society. For example, I went to one lecture on language, and the point of the lecture was that the English language is very object oriented. So we kind of isolate everything into objects, and we don't see the objects in context and the space around the context, because the indigenous societies are a lot more context and oriented into complexity, and they're also recognizing the magical society, how society is magical. So they connect with the spirits, the magical side of the human being, which is residing in your right brain half. And our society is constructed around, both the language and the whole societal system is constructed around the left half of the brain, which is kind of working more like a computer. So, and there was another lecture also on that exact thing, how we have created a society around addiction to media, addiction to social media, and how we never can find peace and calm and connect to our spiritual side. So that was extremely interesting. And I also went to groups doing like body arts, qigong, yoga. I didn't go to aikido, but there are other. I went to breathwork, and there are a plethora of things that you can engage in and try out. And they have so much art around there. Like there are beautiful statues, greenhouses, beautifully designed buildings. So it's like, and there are art galleries, there are artists doing their art while like outside of the gallery. So it's just like a huge art gallery, the whole place, because, it's the music, it's the light shows, it's the galleries, and they have their own big barn called Arty Barn, where you can actually try out different techniques, from filting to juggling to making things from leather. So you can kind of try out your your creative side in a way. You can get in touch with your creativity. So other things that are there are big tents where you can chill out, and just if you feel worn out from the warmth, or if you have been using too much substances or alcohol or whatever, you can rest and you get help, and it's very well organized. People in yellow shirts walking around, you can ask people, and they have a great system to clean up the toilets and to remove the garbage and everything. It's of course pretty primitive. It's super hot. It's like 40 degrees centigrade. It's cold showers, which is beautiful and wonderful when it's that hot. It's not a luxury stay, to put it that way. You're staying in a tent, and that tent is warm as a sauna. So, but it's also a good thing to get this immersive experience that you will get if you stay there for a while on the premises. Because with the first day when we came there to watch and kind of went into the dome to listen to the concert and everything, and people were sleeping around in hammocks, and we were like, how can they possibly sleep in this noise? And the last day I was sleeping in the hammock in the dome, and it didn't seem strange for me anymore. So it's kind of, you're kind of becoming part of the whole experience the longer you stay there. So you might wonder what would have happened if we stayed more than 5 days. That's an interesting question to ask oneself. Well, they also had fire engines to cool people down with water, and what else? Yeah, it was such a peaceful atmosphere. People are moving gracefully and calmly and friendly, kind of just bowing to each other and hugging. What if there's something at all that I would mention as not perfect? It's like the food wasn't that good, and maybe there should have been more vegan and vegetarian foods there. So the food wasn't great, and very long lines. You always had to stand in line to get coffee or to get food. There were also no toilet paper situations. So bring your own toilet paper and also wet wipes, because that will save you. If you can, it's a good idea to find a shadow for your hammock and your tent, but then you need to come pretty early to secure your spot. And then it's great to kind of find a spot which is not too far from the toilet and the tents. So OZORA is overwhelmingly big, and you just get you're sort of in a kind of mode where you just have to get it over you first. But at the end of the week, you're also walking around practically naked, smiling. And it's kind of an alternative universe that you disappear more and more into the more you're there. So that was my first OZORA experience, and it was amazing. I think I will return another time, and I would advise other people to try this out too. Thank you.